Hi Resonators, welcome to Tammyacity. I'm Tammy. So today I'm using one of those plastic pink lawn flamingos and I'm going to make a door decoration with some very summery colors. Let's watch the video, see how it turned out. Here are the colors I picked: pink, green, and yellow. And I've seen this technique where you lay down like a pole or something, pour your colors over it, the resin, and then you lift up that pole and it leaves this cool design behind. So that's what I'm hoping for. I want to do like a tie-dye kind of thing and see what design I get when I use this pole. By the way, these little poles, they're actually the legs from the flamingo. I won't be using the legs in this project, so I just thought I'd use it for this technique. I have the edges coated with some clear resin, and now I am creating a dirty pour with the three colors that I've picked out, and I also added some white, so hopefully this will achieve that tie-dye look I'm going for. As soon as I start pouring, I know this is not the look I wanted. All the colors have melded together and I'm not getting a tie-dye look. They just created one big color. Later on, I figured out that what happened is my colors were not intense enough. I should have added more mica powder to the resin to really get some intense colors. I think that they were just too weak. The color was just too weak in the resin, and that's why it just sort of all melded together. But I'm not giving up on this project. I'm going to salvage this. It's not too late. I can still do something. Even though I knew right away as soon as I started pouring that this was not going to work, I know I have to do something with this. So I'm still covering. I still want to get some good coverage on the board, just so I can start with the next step. Since I know this isn't the look I'm going for, I'm going to go ahead and skip on up to the next step. I don't want to bore you with this since this isn't what I wanted. Before I jump too far ahead, I wanted to show you what happens when you take out the little sticks here. Since I didn't get any good definition in the color, obviously nothing really happens. The resin just fills in the blanks. But I didn't want you to wonder, well, what happened when you take the sticks out? So I wanted to stop and show you. So sticking with that tie-dye hippie vibe, I want to create some flowers on this door decoration. So now I'm just pouring a little puddles, and I want to hopefully create 3 flowers on the top of this. Here's my attempt at using a straw to blow out the petals. I know you can make a flower, you know, I've seen that technique using a coaster, but I'm not using a coaster on this one. I can't flip it over, so I'm going to try using a straw to see if I can create the petals. Okay, I wasn't getting enough movement with the straw. Let's try a heat gun. Thinner straw, working much better. Can you see it? A little bit of petal action happening here. It's starting to resemble a flower. Okay, look at that. Looks like a flower. All right, 1 down, 2 to go. I'm pretty happy with this right now. It's looking like a flower. I need to add a little bit more color, but I'm happy with how it looks. It's looking like a flower. That makes me happy since the first part of the project didn't turn out so great. Now watching the video back, I should have stopped right here instead of using the straw more on this yellow flower. I think if I had stopped right here, it would have had a better effect. Now I want to try to salvage this. So that dirty pour did not go the way I wanted. So what I want to do is pour the colors individually so that I have more control so they don't meld together. And what I'm going for now is some tie-dye stripes. So I'm adding some white. This is some flow pigment. And it's the same flow pigment that you might use to get beach waves. And I'm actually using the same technique. So I am pouring each of these individually and using that beach wave technique, hoping to get a tie-dye stripe. Don't you just love these colors? They're so bright and summery and maybe kind of spring-like too, but to me they just say summer. I've probably had flip-flops this color. I've probably had a swimsuit this color. It just reminds me of tableware that you use on your outdoor table during the summer. I just love the colors. So now I'm going to come in with the heat tool and sort of mix these colors together, hoping to get that effect that I was looking for in the first pour that I did, the dirty pour. There we go. Now we've got some movement here. It's starting to look good. Okay, I like it. Looks better than the first try. Ah, this is coming along nicely. This is starting to have a tie-dye feel. That's looking good. So I wanted to have that green field at the bottom, and you'll see why, because I'm going to use that pink plastic flamingo like I said, and I want to have that green grassy look down there at the bottom. This has turned out to be kind of a happy accident because now I've got that tie-dye down there in the middle like I want, but I also have a separation for the flowers. So I think it kind of turned out good even though it wasn't what I wanted. I've taken some of those flat marbles and they're clear, so on the back side I painted them black, and this will be the center of the flowers. So I'm just laying these down while the resin is still wet to hold them in place. As soon as I lay them down, I'm thinking, you know, I'm not real happy with the flowers, the definition in the flowers. There's no real definition in the petals. I am going to come back and fix that. I almost forgot I wanted to add some butterflies, so I'm just taking some of the wet resin that fell off the board and wiping that on the back of the butterflies so I can stick them down. There we go. How cute is that? Let's add another butterfly. Cute. If that isn't hippie and camp, I don't know what is. I want to give the flowers a little more definition. At first I thought I'm going to try to use a paint pen and just paint it on there, but yeah, it wasn't working for me. Now I'm using some clay to create some petals. I want to use that as a dam to hold in the resin, and I'm going to recreate those petals. And it just so happens that color clay happens to work really well with my project. All right, fingers crossed I can get the clay off without any issues. And hopefully I have some really cute flowers. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit getting the clay off. I actually saw another video where somebody was using clay to create their project, so I asked, what is the secret? How do you get the clay off? Turns out the secret is using silly putty instead of clay. I'm going to try that next time. The flowers are cute. And remember, we're going for camp. We're going for whimsical. The flowers don't have to be perfect. They can even be a little parochial. So it just works. Now for the best part. The tacky pink plastic lawn flamingo. I had to have a project with a pink plastic lawn flamingo because it's kind of my thing. I have flamingos everywhere. I have a flamingo in every single room. So I have to have one outside the door too. Now I know I could have stuck this pink plastic flamingo in the resin while it was still wet, and then it would be stuck on there forever. And that is actually the reason I did not do that. I wanted to hot glue the flamingo on there in case I decide that I want to change this up. You know, now I have the option. I can take the plastic part off, and I could even just have this board all by itself without a flamingo on it at all, and it would still look great. So I wanted to use the hot glue. Hot glue is temporary, yet still keeps it on there until I want to take it off, until I decide to take it off. And that was why I did that instead of putting it in the resin. Since I'm not using the legs that came with the flamingo, I want to cover up those little holes where the legs go and hide the fact that he doesn't have any legs. So I'm putting this fake grass in there so it looks like he's just in the grass, hanging out in the lawn, you know, like a lawn flamingo. Where I'm attaching the grass, where the bottom of the grass that's exposed, it doesn't look finished. And I need to put something there, something to make it look finished. I don't want to use a ribbon. I think a ribbon doesn't go with this project, but it needs something to hide the bottom of the grass. So I'm open to suggestions. Okay, it didn't turn out exactly how I envisioned it, but it's so stinking cute. I can't even stand it. I love it on the back door. It's so cute. It's whimsical. It's fun. And I'm so glad that you guys watched me make this project. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And I can't wait to show you what I do next. Have a good day.